Okay, we gotta tread lightly on this topic. A lot of parents don't understand autism because, not for nothing, who taught you about autism? Nobody. You're not taught about autism unless it's actually close to you, unless someone is affected to you, next to you, and like it's near. For example, I have no idea about construction. My dad knows everything about construction, but why would I know about construction? It's around me. It's going around everywhere. There's traffic blocking. Like, I know the baseline of construction. I know it's an inconvenience when you're trying to rush to go to somewhere and you have to stop because you see yellow jackets and cones and flashing lights. My whole point is there's such a lack of knowledge and information out there about autism. And once a parent receives an autism diagnosis, they're like, okay, your child has autism. Here you go. Here's a list of people to call. But there's not more than that. The parents have to go on their own to try to find the education out there. So parents are not aware of the functions of behavior. Parents are not aware that it's actually a coping skill. They don't know that that's how they regulate themselves. Like, how else would they know? You see what I mean? These parents are working doubles, trying to work, and now they have to worry about a child and then getting services done, and then they gotta, who's picking a baby up? Like, you can't blame it all on the child. Now, there's some parents, especially when it comes to different cultures, where it's shamed upon. And I remember I was working with a family. They're from Nepal. And the dad asked me, he said, how long until he's fixed? And it's just like what? But depending on people's cultures, people's education, and you need to also consider this too. We as society, and this is another term you're going to be hearing all the time or seeing, like, oh, that's so ableist. Da, 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 da. Like, yeah, listen to, when parents receive an autism diagnosis, there's some parents that mourn. You know why? Because society made it seem like having a child with autism is like the end of the world. And it's like, we need to change that narrative. We need to provide guidance and knowledge and support. That's why I'm opening up my platform. I'm offering Understanding Autism consults. I'm meeting with other BCBAs, explaining what I'm doing so that they could do the same thing too. Parents need the guidance. You know what? There's who is the parent supposed to call? And they're gonna have to wait 4 months to get an evaluation. They're gonna get the evaluation done, and the neurologist says, oh yeah, they have autism. They don't really give any resources. They just send you off to the next therapy place. Who sits down and explains everything about autism? Who? And for parent training, yeah, you're supposed to be getting knowledge on parent training, but like, they don't go in depth with what autism is. And it's like, let me share what I know so you could better understand not only autism, but you could understand how it presents in your child, so that you know how to set up the environment. You can read his behaviors. You can know his precursor. You can know what triggers him. You know how to shape when it's time to shape and when to model a type of behavior. ABA is all about promoting independence, and you should always strive to have your child become independent in any skill, okay? Especially if you can introduce a baseline of a concept, introduce it. Because now that you introduce the baseline of a concept, you could generalize across settings and stuff, but also that gives them ample opportunities to practice that whatever skill you're trying to teach, because you've already introduced the baseline. Even if it's the last step of a TA, like backward chaining, forward chaining. I'm going to be sharing all this information and generalizing across different settings because I want my main target: parents, teachers, service providers, RBTs, BCBAs, new BCBAs, anyone that works with a learner that has autism. I want to be able to support you some way, some shape, somehow, and give you input and share my knowledge and my experience, but also give you the perspective of the learners that we've worked with so that you can understand their day and you can understand, oh, that makes sense. Oh my gosh, I would have never even thought of that. Oh my gosh. Like, I want to have light bulb moments for all of us because I've already had them and I've experienced them. And now, since I know I have a lot of learners that cannot speak and advocate for themselves, it's my job to advocate for them. So I want to share their stories and their journeys and their perspectives with the world around me because I want to spread awareness. Like, things, consider this. So back to this whole point about, I'm sorry, as an ABA therapist, becoming a BCBA will forever be my thought. Like, some parents, you just have to be gentle and just understand, like, they don't understand that stimming is actually self-soothing. And how can we present this in a way where they could actually understand their learner and realize, oh my gosh, he's not doing it because he's doing it on purpose or like trying to annoy me or all this and all that. Or yes, it's an inconvenience because it might be loud, or you know what I mean. Actually, let's shift their perspective to understanding like, oh my gosh, I wonder why he's overstimulated right now. Maybe let me turn the lights off. Maybe let me lower the TV. Maybe let me give some deep pressure squeezes, you know. Maybe he needs to jump at the trampoline. You know, let me see how I can help him get through this since he's vocalizing or stimming right now.